All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the General Laws meeting. Clerk, if you can open the roll for attendance. Clerk, please close the roll. A quorum is present. Okay, today we have two subcommittee reports, but before we do the two subcommittee reports, we have two administrative actions. The first one is House Bill 720 from Delegate Webert, and he has asked us to strike that bill. Do I have a motion? All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Clerk, open the roll. Clerk, close the roll. That bill is stricken from the docket on a vote of 20-0. The next bill, House Bill 899, Srinivasan. This, I think, is a laudable idea, but probably needs some additional time to think through some of the moving parts. And with that, I would entertain a motion to continue over to 2025.
So moved. Second.
All right, it's properly moved and seconded. That's a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. All right, that bill is carried over. All right, our first subcommittee report is from ABC Gaming. Chairman Krizik.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The ABC Gaming Subcommittee has 5 bills before you. First bill is HB 195 from Delegate Martinez. And there was a substitute, and I so moved the substitute.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor of the substitute, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Chairman Krizik.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. HB 195 prohibits certain gaming license holders from utilizing the term casino in entity names and advertising, and it reported unanimously from the subcommittee and with a referral to the courts of justice, and I so move.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any member of the committee have any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, open the roll. All right, clerk, close the roll. That bill reports with amendment and refers to courts of justice on a 21-0 basis. Chairman Krizik.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The second bill we have is HB 522, which was my bill. This bill empowers the ABC Board of Directors to modernize its online advertising, and the subcommittee moved to report by a vote of 7-1, and I so move.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. I don't believe there were any amendments. Do members of the committee have questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, clerk, open the roll. All right, clerk, close the roll. That bill reports on a vote of 21-1. Delegate Krizik.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The third bill is HB 526, which was my bill, and that will reduce the fees for, this is for 501c3, C4s, the charities that have to apply to the state to be able to solicit contributions within the Commonwealth. And the total fee reduction would be around $1 million, which would be money saved by nonprofits throughout. And I think, did we have any amendments?
Doesn't look that way, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
The subcommittee recommended reporting 8-0.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Does any member of the committee have any questions or comments? Hearing none, clerk, open the roll. No. All right, clerk, close the roll. That bill reports 22-0. All right, Delegate Krizik.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our fourth bill is HB 688, and this was Delegate Leftwich's bill, and what it does is it extends the sunset on off-premises mixed beverages for delivery, and it lifts the sunset on the restaurant establishments for takeout. The subcommittee moved to report by a vote of 6-2, and I so move.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. This is Delegate Leftwich's Cocktails to Go, so you're going to be popular with some folks. All right, is there any questions or comments from the committee? All right, hearing none. Clerk, open the roll. All right, clerk, close the roll. That bill reports 20-2. We know who is not on the Cocktails to Go list now. All right. Chairman Krizik.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. HB 1349 is before us, and it has a substitute, and I move the substitute.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor of the substitute, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, the substitute before us. Chairman Krizik.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This creates a uniform ABC license category for mixed beverage performing arts facilities, and it reported from the subcommittee unanimously. And I so move. With the substitute, I so move.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded that we report the substitute. Does any member of the committee have any questions or comments? Hearing none, clerk, open the roll. All right, clerk, close the roll. That bill reports 22-0.
Thank you, Mr.
Chairman Krizik, does that complete your report? All right, thank you very much for your hard work. Next up is Procurement Open Government. Chair Carr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first bill we looked at was HB 428. Delegate Arnold had to do with the quitclaim and release property rights, authorizing the Department of Conservation and Recreation to quitclaim and release certain property rights related to a portion of real estate owned by the department related to an off-site well and water system serving the new river trail. The subcommittee recommended reporting 7-0, and I so move.
All right, and there are no amendments on that one, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Does any member of the committee have questions or comments on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, open the roll. All right, clerk, close the roll. That bill reports 22-0. Chair Carr.
Mr. Chairman, our next bill is similar. HB 778 has to do with department relating off-site ingress and egress easement serving the Biscuit Run property in Albemarle. And the subcommittee also recommended reporting, but this one we also have to refer to the courts of justice. So the subcommittee recommended reporting 8-0, and I so move.
All right, is there a second? All right, so the motion is to report and re-refer to the courts committee. Does any member have questions or comments? Hearing none, clerk, open the roll. All right. Clerk, close the roll. That bill is reported and referred to courts of justice on a vote of 22-0. Chair Carr.
Mr. Chairman, our next bill is HB 894 by Delegate Bennett Parker. This had to do with the Virginia Freedom of Information Act and electronic meetings, and amended the number of all virtual public meetings that public bodies, with certain exceptions, may convene in a calendar year to no more than 2 times per calendar per year or 50% of the meetings held. So the subcommittee recommended reporting this bill 8-0, and I so move.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Does any member of the committee have questions or comments? Delegate Leftwich.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Generally, I don't favor electronic meetings over in-person meetings. I was wondering if there was some rationale from going from 25% to 50%. I like the other parts of the bill.
Yes, Delegate Leftwich, I think we have the patron, Bennett Parker, if you'd like to answer that question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the delegate, I would say a few things. So first, this is only for certain public bodies. It does not apply to local elected bodies, school boards, the General Assembly, planning commissions, BARs, BZAs, or other bodies that are currently prohibited from holding all virtual meetings. It is permissive and not mandatory. So no one has to do this, and localities can place additional restrictions beyond the state rules. So we are seeing across the state these advisory boards and commissions meetings get canceled or failing to have a quorum. This just gives them additional flexibility. The bill also adds and retains the significant guardrails to ensure public transparency and access that have already been put in place, and it adds to those by requiring that the body must vote on their policy at least once annually rather than just once to make sure that public feedback is always part of the process. It also requires that members during a video meeting must be on camera in order to be considered present. And then finally, I would just add that the bill is supported by the League of Women Voters, the Virginia Chamber of Commerce, the ARP, the AAUW, the ARC, the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, the Virginia Conservation Network, VACO, VML, Virginia Grassroots, the Northern Virginia Aging Network, the Virginia Association of Planning District Commissions, the Northern Virginia Chamber, and probably some other folks.
So Delegate Leftwich, I think she anticipated your question.
Follow-up question.
Delegate Leftwich.
Was it supported by Meg Ryan? I'll withdraw the question. Thank the patron for remarks.
Thank you, Delegate. Any other further questions or comments? If not, Clerk, please open the roll. All right, Clerk, close the roll. That bill reports 22-0. Chair Carr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our next bill is also Delegate Bennett Parker, 1040, and this had to do with the definition of caregiver and the remote participation in meetings by persons with disabilities and caregivers and remote voting. And so this also, Mr. Chairman, passed out of the subcommittee, recommended reporting 8-0, and I so move.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Delegate Leftwich, do you dare ask a question? No, you're not. All right, any questions from the committee? Hearing none, Clerk, open the roll. All right, Clerk, close the roll. That bill reports 22-0. Chair Carr, does that complete your report?
That completes my report, Mr.
Great.
Chairman.
Thank you very much. And again, really appreciate your hard work as well. So after this meeting, we will be rolling directly into our next two subcommittees. So at first we have housing, and then we will have professions and occupations. And so as soon as housing is done, we will roll as fast as possible into professions and occupations. Before we leave, I did want to let people know that we are a very popular committee this year, and was told that we have about 120 more bills that we need to go through, and they keep getting referred to us. So that is just to go ahead and say that we got a lot of work to do in about 4 meetings before crossover. So expect some longer subcommittees as we go through that process. It is also really important, if you have a bill that needs an amendment or a substitute, you need to make sure that gets to council ASAP. If you introduce a bill and need an amendment or substitute at the last second, chances are you're going to be deferred to the next meeting, and that risks your bill not getting heard at all. So please, for the sanity of our council, ensure you get those to them early so that they can make sure that they can do their jobs putting those together. All right, with that, do we have a motion to adjourn? All right, properly moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, we are adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.